Good morning, friends. It's Julie, and today we are going to go over how to inventory your postcards. I've tried 3 different methods, and I'll tell you the pros and cons of each. So one thing that happens when you have a bunch of postcards, a bunch of little slips of paper, is that you need to, right from the start, address them, or it's going to get out of control. It'll be hard to find them. And I did watch a few videos on other people and their inventory process, and the inventory of having hard goods and stuff is a lot different than having postcards, because in this box here there's probably close to 700 pieces of inventory. If you lose one postcard and you have several boxes, it's going to be quite a search, so you might even give up before you find it. So keeping these postcards in order and able to find it within seconds is very important. I know there's a couple ways that people like to organize these, and one of the ways is by the alphabet, that you will do the subject. So you would have a postcard for Arizona, so you put it in Arizona or A's. And then you have, something with Montana, so it goes in the M's or Montana category. Maybe you have a category for Christmas or a category for trains. But when you get to more than a box, then you have to do a lot of searching before you find that card. And also, there are places that could easily be 2 states. And you also have to, unless you label them, you have to remember which category they go in if you take them out. Maybe on a small scale, if you're, maybe 100 or 200 postcards, that's okay. But if you are in here and you're going to be in here for the long haul for postcards or maybe other trade cards or other items that are small, then you want to start right away with a different system. And what I do is I use SKUs, which is basically numbers. And no matter what the subject of the postcard is, they get assigned a number. And I put them in my eBay inventory, and then the cards are also given the number in my boxes. So the first method that I did, I talked about quite a while ago. When I bought lots of postcards, a lot of times you get sleeves with them, and their old sleeves are worn. You don't really, some of them are icky, so that, you throw those away. But some of them you can still use again. So what I did was I would put the inventory number on the sleeve, and I would put several in here at a time. Sometimes I started off with putting 5 of them, and then I put as many as I could in them, so there's really no rhyme or reason how many are in here. The benefit of this is that it doesn't really cost any money, because you're using stuff that you would probably throw away, and all you have to do is do this, pay for this label. And theoretically, you could take a Sharpie and mark this, but I find that having the white label is easier for me to see. But do what works for you. So that method actually worked really well in the beginning. And when I needed to find a postcard, all I had to do was find that number, pull out the postcards, and rifle through there. And I would find, whatever postcard that I was looking for, and then I would sleeve it up and mail it. So the downside to this is that when I now have more inventory, I'm closing in on 9,000 postcards, ephemera listings, that when I go to my drawer, then I have to pull this out, find the postcard, put it back in. And so it's a 3-step process. Not that it's bad, but some days, especially Mondays, I'm shipping for over an hour, but I also have something else that I ordered in the mail. I will tell you about at the end that is going to help save me some time. But for now, sometimes it takes me an hour to ship, because I'm pulling out stuff, doing the extra steps. And so, it works, but I think I'm outgrowing that. But I'm not going to change them now, because that would just be a pain. And I'm just going to leave them as is and let them just sell out, and eventually there'll be less of them. So the second method that I did was use tabs. So here I have tabs. I had a couple of people ask, did you cut these out myself? No, because the amount of time it would take to do that, I could have listed a bunch of postcards. So I just order them. I don't think they're very much for a pack of 50 or 100. I don't remember, but if I do, I'll put it up above. Put off putting them at 10s. And then, I just changed them out to what I felt. Maybe this is how much I did in an hour or a night or whatever, or this is a state or a subject. So there's no rhyme or reason how many. They would be individually sleeved in a nice sleeve, so they are ready to be mailed out. So then when I needed to get a postcard, pull this out, pop up the next one in the back, pull these out, find the postcard, and then put it in the envelope because I didn't need to sleeve it. So that worked out fine, except, again, there's a lot of steps here. So the benefits of this is that if you wanted to, you could recycle these tabs. Once these are sold out, you can recycle, or you can keep adding more to the tabs, and you don't have a limit on how many are in here. So with the sleeves, there was a limit on how many you could fit under a SKU number. But here you could even make the whole box if you wanted to, the same tab, which I wouldn't. But I like that they're sleeved because all I have to do is pull them out. You don't have to sleeve them though. That's your option. I just decided to go for it. Let me know, do you sleeve yours in the inventory? And it also protects them, because if I am rifling through these a lot like this, then the edges of the postcards are eventually going to get a little more worn and not in the condition that I listed them in, possibly. Maybe they get a little tear if they're delicate, or bends, especially if there's add-ons or glitter. Always sleeve something with glitter on it. So this works okay, but again, it's a process because I have to find it, pull them out, pull out the card, and then pop the divider back in. Sometimes I can just, there's just a few, and I just page through with my flip through my fingers, say, oh, here it is. So I don't have to actually take it out. So this was fine. It was a little step up, but a lot of similarities to the first, let me just call this stage 1. Here's stage 2. I'm getting into having a lot of growth, wanting to make room for more. So I transitioned into my third method. And this is my third method. This one is everything gets its own SKU number. So I had to think about how to do this. Mark from SM Postcards, he does this. But what he does is he takes the sleeve, he puts a number, I think he generates them through his thermal printer. When the card is sold, from what I understand, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but he gives it a new sleeve. So he takes the sleeve off, puts a new sleeve on because of the number on it, and I believe he recycles those old sleeves. But I liked the thought of giving everyone its own individual number for the ease of all I have to do is find it, pull it out. I don't have to maneuver anything around it. All it is that postcard. I don't really want to re-sleeve because I want to keep it simple. So what I decided to do was find removable labels and put them in nice sleeves. So here is a postcard, and it has this label. And okay, the downside to this one is that I handwrite it, but it really doesn't take that long. But when a postcard sells, all I have to do is easily peel this off. These are Avery labels. They're meant to be removed, and it's ready to go in the mail. All I have to do is pull it up, take the tag off, mail it. So this is actually the fastest method that I have found yet. So the downside to this one is that it's again, it's a little more expensive than method 1, which I use recycled things. But because everything gets a sleeve, I have to pay attention when I'm listing that I don't have a batch that's one SKU anymore. I have to pay attention to that I'm putting the right number on. Those are the only downsides that I found so far. Another consideration that I forgot to mention about all 3 methods is that if I drop this box, I can I could put them all back in order just by what's on their labels. All right, so with this one, if I drop this box, this would be a tragedy because they individually have no number. I would just have to hope that I could get them all together. I probably have to look them up online, what their SKU number is on eBay. So this one would have the most tragic consequences in case of accident. So those are the 3 methods I've used. Let me know what your inventory methods is, because I've heard a couple comments about somebody was doing categories and alphabet, and then they change. So I would think if you are even remotely thinking that you're going to be in this postcards or something else like this for the long haul, that you would start out with a SKU system. It's just, you don't have to think this number SKU sold. So all I have to do is go, okay, here it is, pull it out there, and done. So I don't have to think, okay, it's this state, it's this location, this subject, where is it? And it looks like this. It's just less thinking. Have you done any of these kinds of systems? Let me know. And also, which one do you like best? 1, 2, or 3? 1 was the everything's in an old sleeve, 2 was the tabs, and 3 is individual with a sticky number on it. And I mentioned I just ordered on Black Friday something that's going to help my shipping go faster, which is finally a thermal printer. It was on sale. I had it in my favorites or my list, and I saw that it was on sale, so I got it. And so that's in the mail, and I will show you that when it comes. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and hope you have a joyful day. Goodbye.